Good morning, all. Now we will see the last module of your syllabus, that is design methodology. And now you have already seen the design architecture in module 1, but here things are taken in a little different way. So design flow is about the complete flow of the work done to design any embedded system. So you know that a digital system is designed and manufactured to meet any functional requirement which is subject to constraints given by the user. And the architectural exploration is also can be called as design space exploration, and what it refers to is the task of abstract modeling and analysis of design. Now the most important aspect of architecture exploration is partitioning of the operation. Why do we partition? Because we want to increase the efficiency of the solution. So partitioning it can be taken as divide and conquer type problem solving strategy. We divide the problem in various partitions like physical partition, logical partition. So when we do this, it is easy for the designer to give the more optimized and better solution. But of course, the components interact with one another to complete the overall task of the system. And when we are working at the abstract level of architecture explanation, the component need not be always physical part of the system. So it can be logical partitioning. What do you mean by logical partitioning? It means that we are identifying parts of the system that will implement various processing steps. So this form of partitioning where we are where we are partitioning the different implementation steps, it is called as functional decomposition. So functional decomposition or logical partitioning is the method where we do the partitioning for the process, various process. Physical partition, if I talk, physical partition includes processor, cores, accelerator, memories, and IO controller. I hope you all remember what do you mean by processor core. Processor core is the main processor where we had studied Gumnode processor. Like that, various processor can come into picture. Accelerators are special hardwares which makes our system faster. Any processor becomes slow with more tasks to be implemented. So accelerators are a separate hardware which is used to enhance the speed of processor. And memories and IO controllers also comes as a part of physical partitioning. So physical partitioning means your physical component being partitioned. Logical partitioning means where you decompose the complete system as a functional way. So that is physical partitioning. So now what you can see in this flow chart, here we are talking about software partitioning and hardware. So physical partitioning will come under hardware column. This column will be your hardware partitioning. Software partitioning will be taking care of your all the procedure of how things are being done. So this is software partitioning, and you know that always there is a feedback uh, in each step, and also there is a discussion going on between two parallel units also. Once all this is done, it goes to synthesize. So when your partitioning part is done and when your software is being implemented in hardware, that time when it is done, verified, then only it goes for synthesis. So you can see this partitioning comes before synthesis level. Till synthesis level only this partitioning comes into picture. Once it is done, your both the column of the flow chart is coming into the single one after synthesis. So this you know already, you synthesize, then post synthesis verification. Once verification and all that is done, then physical implementation and physical verification, and finally manufacture and test. This part you have known before also. Now with one example we will see this partitioning. And this partitioning we are seeing with the example of road transport monitoring system. So you can see now physical partitioning is for the down one, physical structure, and up one is logical structure, logical partitioning. So this example is considering a road transport monitoring system that checks whether good trucks drive from one part of the country to another in too short an interval. So basically we have to log in the details. This I had discussed to some extent before also. So what is done in this is stations on freeways. Freeways means your toll roads. Stations on freeways, each will have a video camera on a gantry. Gantry means your toll booth type thing. So stationary on freeways will have a video camera on a gantry, that is toll booth, over the road. The video images are analyzed to identify the license plate of each truck passing underneath, and the time and the license number are logged. So the process involved capturing video image, extracting the license plate information, and along with that the time when it is all this is being done. All these are logged. Logged where? Logged to this network interface. See here, log is there, no? Here only it is logged. And this information is transmitted to a central facility for recording and comparison with the information from the other station. So the central facility will have information at each toll booth, each gantry, when it has reached. With that, they will calculate the speed of the vehicle. Now, if I talk about functional decomposition, this logical structure is nothing but your functional partition. So this example, this first part is talking about functional partition, and down part is talking about the physical structure. Now, if you see on logical components, what is happening? The logical components for input of video from a camera, then it filters to remove the noise, then edge detection, shape detection. Once shape is detected, then license plate is detected. License plate is detected, and then character recognition to identify the license number. Once your license plate is detected, their character recognition comes into picture. Character recognition to identify the license number. After that, rest of the information the system will already have. It will record it with the time when all this work is being done. So then logging and network interface, system control, and diagnostic and maintenance tasks. All these comes under logical components, or we can also call it as functional decomposition. So that is your first part. It comes under the software part. Okay, software column you saw in the flow chart, no? This comes under the software part. Now, this software part or the logical structure can be mapped into the physical structure, which is shown in the bottom of the figure. This figure is the physical structure. Whatever you are doing in the logical structure has to map with this physical structure. Now you can see here, no, this software part is being done here, hardware part is being done here. These should be mapped with each other. If it is not mapped, things will not work out. So this mapping is required now. So this mapping, what in this case, what is happening? The physical component comprised of an embedded system with accelerator for video processing up to shape detection stage. So now you see here, video input, video filter, edge detection, shape detection. Till here, from video input till shape detection, what is it? It is a part of an embedded system along with an accelerator. Because when you are dealing with video image and video work, it will be a very, very heavy work on the embedded system. Heavy work on embedded system will make it slow. Now to make it fast, we need an accelerator. That is why it is told that the physical component here is embedded system with accelerator for video processing up to where? Up to shape detection. Up to shape detection. Once this is done, then later part, that is license plate detection and recognition and logging system control and diagnostic and maintenance are mapped into software tasks running on the processor's core. So now you can see here, this is one part of embedded system where you get the information. Later the character recognition and all, then the system logging and also the diagnostic and maintenance, all that is at the part of processor core. So when all these things become part of processor core, later whatever information you have got with this embedded system and accelerator and this processor core goes into this memory, and this memory is read by this network interface. Why? Because this memory of the information that when that truck came to this toll booth will be stored in this current toll booth memory, and that will also be shared with this network interface. So you can see how this is. The names you can see is same names, but here you can see it is process. So one after the other things are going, and there is no information about the processor or hardware. Here you can see you have a processor bus because this part is hardware. That is why memory is shown here, because in hardware where you are storing your information comes here in memory and the network interface part. So this down part is hardware, up part is software. So now this architecture exploration is something which is a very important task in any embedded system design. So it is often done by an expert system designers, and decision made at this early stage has a major impact on the rest of the design of the system. And of course, it is very difficult to automate these tasks using any EDA tools. EDA tools is your simulation tool. So it is difficult to automate such architecture exploration tasks. So that is why system designer generally rely on ad hoc system model. Ad hoc system model means what? It will be expressing algorithms in programming language like C or C++, or using spreadsheets or mathematical modeling tools to analyze system properties. And also experience of system designer is very well used here. Whatever they learn from each project, it is brought to new project design, new design project work. So it's very important. Now, whether it is systematic or ad hoc, it results in a high level specification of the system. Also, sometimes this specification, it is expressed in a language that can be executed or simulated in certain forms, like it is called as Unified Modeling Language, UML, Unified Modeling Language. And the specification is used as the input for the next stage of the design flow. So this is all about your architecture exploration, partitioning of physical partitioning as well as logical partitioning. So this is your first part of design procedure. Now design flow, what all steps are involved? Steps involved are architecture exploration, which I discussed just now. After that, I will be discussing on functional design, then functional verification. What all comes into each one of it will be explained in detail. And after functional design, see, first is architectural exploration, then functional design, functional verification, then synthesis, and then physical design. And after we do this, then I will be talking about the optimization. When optimization is done, it is done at various levels. So before you go into design optimization, you should understand these 5 steps of design flow. First step is already discussed with you. Next step will be functional design.